Hi everyone, so this is the promised video I said on lecture 2. I'm going to give a little review of last week, also the pre-course survey, some of those results, and then provide some recommendations for the future weekly assignments and reflections, and finally just mention a few things I want you to think about in preparing for the Thursday, I'm not going to call it lecture, but still meeting in the classroom and broadcasting live to discuss some things about the course. And of course, this is Rick and Morty. If you don't like Rick and Morty, who are you? Okay, so the lecture that we broadcasted today using Webinar Jam, when you signed up, you should receive a follow-up email with the link of the recording. The Webinar Jam video player does not allow you to control fast forward, rewind, pause, things like that. So what you can do is, as long as you have Google Chrome, which you can get for free, search Video Speed Controller. It's an extension you'll put into Google Chrome. Then when you go into the Webinar Jam link, for the recording, on the screen you see the little controller there, and also it lines up with some of your keys, so you can now control the video. It's worked. I've done it several times to test it. Works out good. So most of you completed almost all. Only one person didn't complete the survey. As you can see, I asked questions. Your personal perception of your ability with statistics, using Excel, writing, presenting, and what you consider yourself as far as professional ethics. And as you can see, the lowest is the use of Excel, which is why I recommend that everyone tries to find someone who has expertise in it, or maybe start searching YouTube now for a reference. I will try to walk you through it the best I can, but it's always good to have other sources of assistance. We had a tie between stats, writing, and presentations, and then the highest was your self-perceived ethics. As far as have you completed an internship already, almost 60% said yes you had. That's pretty good. Those of you who are in ASSP is very low, under 20%. So I am going to try and talk to you about that more. Just in today's lecture alone, a lot of you brought up some things that were really interesting, and I think maybe it's time we kind of reinvent what the Student Safety Organization is and what ASSP can do to help us. That's really what it should be about. We had high numbers for those who were pursuing the GSP and those who are using LinkedIn. I can also talk about that. On Thursday during our get-together time. And then as far as who already has an internship lined up as their capstone, just a little over a third. So hopefully, by assembling a student safety org and focusing on that, we can get you guys more opportunities, right? I asked you to define the primary role of the safety professional, though we talked about what is safety and what the primary role is via ANSI 590.2. This is a good summation. Keep people safe, send people home, same way in which they came in. Inform about safety, enforce rules or compliance with safety, or just provide a safe work environment. As far as what you perceived is the extent in which workers cause the injuries, it ranged all the way from, some of you said, yes, they are the primary cause, or 100%. One person said 60, a few said like 20 to 30, and then a few you also said none. And as was indicated in lecture 2, I'm going to try and convince you to not blame the worker, at least not initially. Suspend that until you've done your investigation, but try to look beyond them, because we have a natural tendency to blame, and I'll be talking about how it affects them. As far as week 1 performance, on average, you guys spent a little over 2 hours on the website. As far as the median, it's about an hour and a half. So we had some variance there. You see that the low is under a third of an hour, which is under 20 minutes. That's too low. So if you only spent 20 minutes on the Canvas site in the first week, that's not good. As far as touches go, the average is 86, the median is 70, so that's a good range. The high is very, very high. It looks like somebody came back and clicked on things multiple times. Somebody only clicked on 11 things. Again, that's a bit low. 24 of 28 people attended the live lecture. last Thursday, and 12 were Classroom, 12 were WebEx. Everyone who submitted the assignment, I gave you guys full points. Everybody who submitted the reflection got full points. Just because I noticed right away that we need to make some changes in order to provide a fair grade to you. And for those of you who didn't submit, we had 5 students who didn't submit. On Canvas, it's got this thing on the side that tells you what's due and what's coming up. So I don't understand. I don't understand why you would miss that, because it's just like front and center. It's about the only thing I like about Canvas is it tells you what's coming up and what's due. So get on that. So here's now what I'm posting within the weekly summary. So I do want you to take notes during the lectures while you're watching them, or while either live or recorded. I don't want you just to focus on the PowerPoints. I provide them just as a reference, but I don't want you to just... Some of you turned in your notes and you were just copying the PowerPoints. That doesn't mean much to me. I want to know what you think of them, or how you put them into your own words. So, yeah, I said that. I would like you to try typing up your summaries. So, yeah, you can write out your notes or scribbles or whatever. I want you to read them, think about them, and summarize them. Because you guys were taking pictures and posting it, and most of them were rotated 90 degrees. That made it tough. At the top, I should see date, course number, lecture topic, speaker. We're going to have guest speakers going into the future. I want you to definitely talk about the major parts. Now, I do have a initial objectives for the lecture, and I also have a review. I would say use that as a guide to indicate, to figure out for yourself what was the main part of the lecture. Based on those highlights and the review questions, summarize based around those, the main takeaway. Like if you had to write an elevator pitch for a lecture, I'd like to see what you come up with. Also, do not forget to summarize the readings, just a short few sentences per, but list what they are and put what that is. So each lecture will have 1 to 2 pages, I'm assuming. So for every week with 2 lectures, there should be anywhere from 2 to 4 pages submitted. Again, I would like it either in Word or PDF. Let's see how that goes. I may change this a little bit more, but I just want the summaries. I don't want all of your notes. I want you to listen and take notes, and I want to see what the next level of synthesis is. Okay? As far as reflections, I'm going to try to provide a little bit more detail here of what I want you to be thinking about. Here, what I do is I kind of referred to the main points, main objectives of those lectures, 1, 2, and 3. And I want you to kind of talk about safety programs, evaluation, and I really want you to try to think of real-world situations, real-world applications, real-world experiences you've had. That's what the reflection is all about, is connecting to the material. Whereas before, it was just summarizing the material. So for Thursday, again, it's not really a lecture because you have a recorded lecture to watch. I posted it right at the top of Lecture 3. You also, if you're going to show up to class, please register. Please sign up. There's only max capacity of the class is 23. But of course, you can join us via live WebEx. I don't think the recording is going to be that interesting, even though I will record it because I'm trying to get better at the technology. It's better if you could be live and ask questions. If you have questions that, if you can't attend and you want to provide written questions, please submit them before 10:30 a.m. on Thursday, and we'll discuss it on the video. So we'll be discussing the 3 different delivery options, what we did for Lecture 1, what we did for Lecture 2, and what we did for Lecture 3. I will provide a basic guided tour of the OSHA website, which was referred to in Lecture 1, but I'll let you kind of guide that a little bit. I'll show you the highlights that I use, and then if you have extra questions, you can ask that. I would like to have an open discussion also about American Society of Safety Professionals or the Student Safety Org, what you think of the designation, the GSP, and what you're thinking for internships. And so other than that, I'll let the students kind of guide it. So any questions you may have about the course, grading, anything about the course, anything about internships or your future, anything. I'll just leave it wide open. We'll see how it goes. I don't think it'll take an hour. I think we'll be done early. So please bring the questions. It's a good time. I mean, we're only in the second week. So the more effort we can put into being on the same page and understanding each other as we move forward and trust each other, came out of today's lecture, the better off we'll all be. And so, yeah, that's all I got. So again, I hope to see you or hear from you either on or before Thursday. Otherwise, email me if you have questions. Thanks, everybody.